Hey, welcome back to a brand new video. Before this video begins, I'd like to make this disclaimer very clear. This video will include content that is very graphic in its depiction, and a lot of it will be very sensitive. As such, I've tried to censor as much as possible while still getting all of the core information in there so that you can see the evidence I'm presenting while simultaneously this video not being taken down from YouTube. Also, this video will touch on serious allegations and serious claims that may affect you mentally if you don't feel comfortable with many of those topics. So, if you feel like any of the topics I may be discussing in this video could affect you in any way, please do consider clicking off the video right now. And everything stated from this point onwards in the video is completely alleged, and you should do your own research before coming to a conclusion. I don't state that to protect myself from a lawsuit. I state that because it's incredibly important that you do your own research before running with the claims that a YouTuber has made, as you should never believe that a YouTuber 100% has your best interest first, and you should never trust the words of a YouTuber without doing your own research. Also, there is a possible chance that the person being called out in this video could actually be innocent. As such, you should not falsely indict that person, and you should not jump to conclusions here. My only purpose with this video is to bring you all the information that's out there and bring more awareness to it, while giving more perspective on it and giving my opinion on what this actually means as a whole, which could change over time if more evidence is presented, at which case I'll make a follow-up. Please do consider these words and take them into account before continuing this video. With that being said, before I begin, hi, I'm HarleyTBS. I post videos every single day. I post at 6 PM GMT, 1 PM EST. Consider subscribing to the channel to support me, and consider checking out my other social media down below. I'm aiming for 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so that goal is simply only possible if you were to subscribe, and feel free to check out my other platforms as well if you'd like to support me on those as well. Finally, if you'd like to go the extra mile and support these videos financially, as these videos take a lot of work to make and they're simply only possible if people fund them like you, please do consider checking out the join button down below. It's next to the subscribe button, and you can support me financially and you'll get some extra benefits, as well as being able to help financially support this channel. With that being said, let's get right into it. Shannon Sunday is a content creator with almost 300,000 subscribers who posts content in the Friday Night Funkin community that garners millions of views, with a large majority of those views coming from minors. And more recently, a Google Doc was released that exposes a lot of their apparent alleged behavior behind the scenes, and how while they were 17 and then later 18, they were involving themselves in inappropriate ways with people over 5 years younger than them. And according to the Google Doc, Shannon is still involved with the 13-year-old to this day and still has contact with them. Shannon allegedly also sent NSFW images and videos to minors, and simultaneously they apparently are supposed to be getting help from their ex. However, that seemingly only led to them changing their status to be about loving the minor that they'd involved themselves with illegally before. Before I delve into all the screenshots, for your viewing pleasure, I've added both of their Discord accounts on screen so that you can see exactly which account is which when we're going through the next screenshots. With that being said, slap your detective caps on as we're going into the evidence. Firstly, before I go into any screenshots showing any illegal activity, I'd also like to note the fact that the age of the minor was actually recognized within the chat beforehand, with Shannon asking them how old they are, the minor saying they're 12, and Shannon saying that they are 5 years older, which would make them 17 at the time of this exchange with the 12-year-old. Starting with the smallest claim, Shannon allegedly sent porn to this minor, linking them a porn website, which would be incredibly disgusting. Sending a minor porn websites is inherently wrong and inherently disgusting, as obviously they don't comprehend that kind of concept, and sending that type of content is creepy. Not only were they sending concerning links to this minor, they also sent them messages saying that they were aroused at the time, and saying that they were going to send illegal messages to another minor, which would be disgusting. And engaging with these actions with someone that was 13 at the time, well, you're 17, is not only wrong but unlawful. In the country that Shannon lives in, the age of legal capability to consent is 12 and being raised up to 16. However, that does not mean that this behavior would be tolerable, as 1, the minor could be in a different country. 2, legality and morality aren't the same thing. Everyone can agree that from a moral standpoint, dating someone 5 years your senior is wrong, whether a country says it's illegal or not. And also, this behavior could also constitute taking advantage of the minor, which would still be a problem in itself. However, none of that really matters in this conversation, as we're going to now focus on how they were preying on another minor and were sending a lot worse messages to them and involving themselves in a lot worse ways. With that being said, let's delve into this allegation. Firstly, to confirm that Shannon did have some sort of appeal to this minor, their status on Discord was actually saying that they loved the minor, which is a gross thing to say, and while some people would try and pass it off as possibly a platonic statement, I'd argue you still shouldn't put stuff like I love and then a minor in your bio, because they're underage and it could send the wrong message to them or other people. After the breakup between this relationship with the minor sent this message to Shannon, which said that they don't think think this relationship would be working out because they couldn't handle the pain that Shannon had given them, and that they think that the relationship was over, in which Shannon apologized and asked the minor not to leave them, begging for them to stay with them, someone that was 4 to 5 years their senior according to the document. However, Shannon was playing this off, trying to look better, while saying that they broke up the relationship after they turned 18 because they felt like it was wrong, or at least that's what they hint or give an inkling towards. However, given the previous screenshot, we can already recognize the fact that the minor was actually the person that broke off the relationship, and as such, it's very clear here that Shannon is lying to make themselves either look better or make themselves avoid any actual backlash from this situation. After this breakup though, their Discord status started changing towards platonically sleeping with this minor after breaking up with them in calls, with the heart icon next to it, which implies what I think it implies. This was called out by someone else who said you don't sleep heart with friends, and they said it was platonic, and the other person highlighted the inherent problem with staying in a call and sleeping on calls with a minor, as it causes an incredibly weird relationship with minors that you shouldn't have. But also, this whole Google Doc highlights the fact that they were calling the minor naughty, and also asking what was in it for them, indicating that they wanted something gain from this conversation and situation. However, it's at this point where the behavior similar to Kodomadachi's becomes incredibly illegal and absolutely downright horrific and abhorrent. The fact that they engaged in this behavior is disgusting, and they should be deplatformed as they're creating content towards a child-based audience in an adult fanbase, which I'd argue those kids shouldn't be involved in anyway, and clearly taking advantage of them. This document highlights a message where someone else says to Shannon that Shannon said that they wouldn't do illegal actions with this minor, and then they did, and Shannon in replies says, "I admit I did, but it's over now, please don't bring this up again. I regret my decision." If they really regretted their decision, they would have cut off the contact after the breakup and wouldn't have got themselves involved with this minor in platonic sleep calls afterwards. The fact that they engaged in illegal behavior with this minor while having a platform based around kid games, if these allegations are true, is absolutely downright disgusting, and they should be immediately deplatformed. You do not deserve a platform, especially not a platform based around kids and kids games, when you are actively taking advantage of the people in that community. And this is exactly like the Kodomadachi situation, and I expect it will play off the exact same way, with them trying to avoid it, making more excuses, and eventually quitting YouTube after realizing that no one will forgive them. This behavior is one of the most disgusting things to see, and I hate having to cover it, because it's so obvious that this person is knowingly in a community around Friday Night Funkin, a community that they know has a big kid audience, and actively intentionally going after kids in that community and involving themselves with kids. It feels almost intentional, like they chose Friday Night Funkin because it was a way to involve themselves in a kids game, and it resonates with the same memories I have from years ago in the Minecraft community when people like Lionmaker were prominent, and they were doing the exact same thing in that community. This whole situation is fucking disgusting, but the fact that they were involving themselves in illegal, criminal fucking behavior with minors is absolutely the most unforgivable cherry on the top of this mess of a situation, and something that I don't think anyone should forgive unless there is valid justification that this isn't true. As an added note though, that also supports the claim that's being made, someone else confronted the minor and asked them if they realized what had actually happened to them, and they responded saying that they did actually understand what was happening because they realized it was wrong, and that's why they broke up the situation, which links back to the original text where they said that they realized how much hurt this person was causing to them. And it also brings validity to the possibility that this claim is actually true, that they were preying on minors and sending and doing stuff with this minor, which is disgusting. This document, which was written from an alleged friend of Shannon Sunday, states that they'd admitted to having feelings for numerous people who were underaged in the past, which highlights the fact that this situation could continue, and there is a risk for this behavior to continue and repeat, and this cycle of them preying on minors and involving themselves in illegal ways with minors could continue to happen again and again, despite them being an 18-year-old who's already involved themselves with a 12-year-old as is, and a 13-year-old apparently as is. This is not a situation that should be passed under the rug. This is not a situation where they can just be forgiven and forgotten. This situation is one that they need to get real help for. They need therapy, and they need to get off of social media and out of a position where they can take advantage of more minors in the same way. Now, there is also an end of this Google document where they go through some chats with one of the friends of Shannon's apparently, where they claimed the fact that Shannon's behavior has apparently still continued since after the age of 18, and although they don't have screenshots of it, the document's claim should prove that there is a possibility that this claim is actually true. And this key witness testimony also claims that they'd received the shared art and pictures from the minor and the adult in this situation. Depending how you interpret this key witness testimony, this could just mean that they had artwork of each other that was in sexual ways, which shouldn't have been shared or even produced in the first place, because artwork of a 12-year-old and a 17-year-old in a relationship is inherently disgusting by nature. But depending on how you interpret this, this could also imply that the minor's body was sent to the adult, which would involve another crime, and it also could imply that that image was being shared to other people, which is again another crime and absolutely fucking abhorrent if true. Right now, all I can gather is that the adult is still involving themselves with the minor, and all I can say is that this minor needs to be got out of this situation, and this adult needs to be put in a place where they can't involve themselves in this way with this minor. That's why I'm making this video. If these claims are true, if these claims have validity, then I believe that it is important to bring awareness to them, and I believe it is important for people in the Friday Night Funkin community to be aware that at this moment, Shannon Sunday is a content creator in the Friday Night Funkin community that can cause way more harm than realized, and is actively preying on minors in the community and continues to involve themselves with the minor. I hope that people that know the minor get the minor help and get them out of this situation so that they are safe and no longer preyed upon by Shannon Sunday. If all the claims presented within this video are true, Shannon Sunday is someone that's preying on minors, Shannon Sunday is someone who's allegedly received images of minors in a legal context, and Shannon Sunday is someone who's also sent porn to minors. All of this behavior is completely unforgivable, and they need to get help if this is true. I hope that people in the Friday Night Funkin community can share this video so more people get aware of it, and more people are able to make sure that this Friday Night Funkin creator is not able to continue making content without backlash or without being called out on their behavior. With that being said, I hope you have enjoyed this video, or at least I hope this video has brought more attention to the situation and educated you upon it. With that being said, if you have enjoyed this video, please do consider leaving a like and subscribing for more content just like this one. I make videos every single day at 6 PM GMT, 1 PM EST, and I'll approach this situation similar to how I approached my Kodomadachi situation, where I got into a private conversation with Kodomadachi, and Kodomadachi admitted that they were preying on minors to me, which is the same way I want to approach this situation. I want to make sure that all the facts are out there, and I want to make sure that Shannon Sunday is held accountable for what they did and not able to get away without backlash. If you have enjoyed this video, please do subscribe. I'm aiming for 50k by the end of the year, and feel free to check out my other social media linked down below. With that being said, you can also support me financially through the join button, as you'll get a bunch of perks and it'll be highly appreciated. With that being said, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.
Says she wanna rock with it like me. I'm a stylish guy. Spend a little guap with it like me. We can catch a fly. Says she wanna rock with it like me.